We have the N64 classic controller. For PC or Mac. Let's open this up. Got about 5 feet of cord here. We got the Z button on the back. Got the upper buttons. D-pad looks good. Z has a nice little feedback to it. Start, BA, you got your C buttons, and then you got your Z on the back. You got your Z button on the back. As far as controls go, it reminds me just like the Nintendo 64. Buttons seem pretty responsive. Medium weight compared to some. Not super heavy weight, but medium. I think this is going to work out just fine.
We're going to go ahead and configure that for you really quick. And I'm going to put a link to the GitHub where you can see all the configurations for these controllers. I'm going to hold down A right now. And the D-pad is fairly simple. It's just a little arrow pads here on the left of the controller, up, down, left, right. Start, the N64 has a big start button. Now select. This is where you have an option here. You can skip this by pressing any of the buttons you've pressed already, any of the D-pad or the start button, and skip it. But I want to be able to do start select to get out of my game, so I'm actually going to use the Z button on the back of the controller. You can change that later if you want. It's totally up to you. A and B are marked on this controller, very simple. Blue A, red, green B. There is no X or Y, so I'm just going to hold down A, and now left shoulder, right shoulder is left shoulder, right shoulder. There's no left trigger or right trigger, but this is if you weren't going to do the select, I would use left trigger as your Z button. Either left or right trigger, depending on the game and the controllers, that would be your Z button. But since I used select as my Z button, I'm going to skip these and just hold down, hold down. You're also going to skip the thumbs. There are no thumbs on this controller. When you get to the analog stick, that's the big stick and sticking out at the top, so we're just going to go up, down, left, right. And then with these analogs, this is another choice you have, whether you want to route some different controls here, or you just do the up, down, left, right on your yellow controls here. That's what I'm going to do. So up, down, left, right. And then A to finish. Give it a second to process. And then B to get out. Moved them well. Now we got on our back. We've got company. Maybe pull it together. Pull it together. Woo! Go Anakin! You little kid, you, before you started killing little Jedi. So having the Z button as your select is nice because you can still start select out of games really easily. But some games do require the Z button in that whole controller setup like this to be able to hold it and hit the Z at the same time. Might be worth it. That's something really easily to change. Just go into configure input and change it depending on what game you're playing. I know it's kind of a drag, so if you want, you can keep your keyboard hooked up or you can also have another controller hooked up and just hit the start select on those as well. So you get a couple of different options, however you want to do that. I hope you enjoyed this review. It is just a really super basic N64 controller, but as I said, it gets the job done. I'm using it here in the Mario Kart as well, and I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. Having the controls exactly how the Nintendo wanted you to have them is always a perk. Some games definitely benefit from it. Other games you could totally get away using an Xbox 360 or PS3 controller. But if this is something you're interested in, I would give it a little thumbs up. It's worth a little bit of price to have that accessibility and the price to have that pure gaming experience. Thumbs up on this one. If you're interested, there'll be some links in the description below. Please use those. That helps out this channel, and the price is the same for you. If you can like this video because it was helpful for you, or just like it anyways, I'd appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.